Absolutely. Here's a full educational and inspirational speech for your title, Two Words Older Men Use to Attract Women, in the style of Lauren Pont's psychology, keeping it engaging, practical, and psychology driven without mentioning him. Sometimes it's not what you say, but the two words you choose that can completely change how women perceive you. In the world of attraction, many men think that confidence comes from grand gestures, expensive gifts, or flashy words. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. It often comes down to the subtle cues in language, the tiny phrases that older, experienced men naturally slip into conversation without even thinking. Today, I want to reveal the two words that, when used correctly, can make a woman feel intrigued, respected, and connected to you instantly. The first word is imagine. Imagine is powerful because it invites her into a world of possibility. It's not commanding, it's not bragging, it's an invitation. When you say, imagine us traveling to Italy together, or imagine the kind of life we could create if we focused on our dreams, you are engaging her mind and her emotions at the same time. You are planting a seed of curiosity and excitement without pushing her or forcing a decision. Women are naturally drawn to men who can create vision, men who can make them feel that life with them is not just ordinary, but full of potential and adventure. This word triggers imagination, a subtle form of emotional attraction that works far deeper than appearances or material wealth. The second word is because. It may sound simple, almost mundane, but psychologically, it's one of the most influential words in human interaction. When you explain your actions or requests with a because, it signals logic and reasoning. For example, saying, I wanted to call you because I enjoyed our last conversation, or I suggested this place because it's peaceful and inspiring, automatically increases compliance and connection. Women feel understood and respected when reasons are given, and this small linguistic choice creates trust, transparency, and emotional safety, all of which are key to attraction. Older men who master this subtly communicate confidence and intelligence without needing to dominate or impress. What makes these two words, imagine and because, so effective is that they operate on two levels, one emotional, one psychological. One creates curiosity, desire, and excitement. The other builds trust, respect, and understanding. Together, they form a communication strategy that feels natural, authentic, and irresistibly magnetic. You don't have to try too hard. You don't need a flashy lifestyle or rehearsed lines. You simply speak in a way that engages her mind and heart simultaneously. So, if you want to elevate the way you connect, stop overcomplicating things. Start noticing the power of these words in your everyday conversations. Sprinkle imagine to spark curiosity and use because to anchor trust. It's subtle, intelligent, and remarkably effective. Older men instinctively use these words because they understand that attraction is not just about looks or money, it's about the psychology of connection, and these two words are the keys that unlock it. In the realm of human interaction, words carry a power far greater than most people realize. They are not merely tools for exchanging information, they are instruments that shape perception, influence emotions, and subtly guide behavior. In attraction, this power becomes especially potent because the way we communicate can determine whether someone feels drawn to us or indifferent. Older men, in particular, often understand this instinctively, having learned that attraction is rarely about grand gestures or flashy displays. Instead, it's about the subtle ways language can spark curiosity, intrigue, and emotional resonance. Every word we choose sends a signal, whether consciously or unconsciously, about our confidence, intelligence, and emotional awareness. When a man speaks with intention, he can create an invisible thread of connection that makes a woman feel seen, understood, and engaged. This is why certain words, simple as they may seem, hold a disproportionate influence over how we are perceived. They can transform an ordinary conversation into a meaningful exchange where she begins to associate not just the words themselves, but the feeling and energy behind them with the man speaking. The most successful communicators in attraction are those who realize that it isn't about trying too hard to impress or overcompensate with attention. It's about understanding how words resonate psychologically and emotionally. Language, when wielded thoughtfully, becomes a bridge between minds, allowing the speaker to open doors to imagination, curiosity, and trust. In essence, the power of language in attraction is not about being clever or witty for the sake of it. It's about using words as tools to create connection, evoke emotion, and guide perception. Older men who have mastered this understand that real attraction is subtle, built not on appearances or material wealth, but on the nuanced ways they engage with someone's mind. Words, chosen carefully and delivered with intention, can ignite intrigue, foster respect, and lay the foundation for a deeper, more authentic connection. This understanding transforms communication from a mundane exchange into an art of influence and attraction, demonstrating that sometimes the simplest elements, two carefully chosen words, can carry the greatest power. The word imagine carries an extraordinary subtlety in human communication, yet its impact on attraction is profound. When used thoughtfully, it invites a person to step beyond the ordinary, to envision possibilities that spark curiosity and excitement. Unlike commands or statements that assert control, imagine functions as an open door, a gentle invitation that stimulates the mind while engaging emotions. It allows a man to guide a woman's thoughts toward scenarios where connection, adventure, or shared experiences are possible without forcing or pressuring her. This is why older men who have mastered attraction often use this word instinctively. They understand that curiosity is a magnet and that creating mental images can ignite desire far more effectively than overt compliments or flashy gestures. By saying, for instance, imagine us exploring a quiet, beautiful beach at sunset, he is not merely suggesting an activity, he is crafting a moment in her mind that feels personal, exciting, and intimate. The power of imagine lies in its ability to engage the imagination, which is deeply linked to emotion. The mind cannot separate imagined experiences from real feelings. When she envisions a scenario, she experiences the emotions associated with it. This creates a subtle psychological pull, making the idea of spending time with him feel enticing and memorable. Moreover, using imagine signals creativity, confidence, and vision, qualities that are inherently attractive. It demonstrates that a man can think beyond the mundane, that he has the capacity to dream, to envision a life filled with experiences and possibilities. Women are drawn to men who can spark this sense of potential, who can make life feel more dynamic and exciting through words alone. Unlike direct persuasion, which can feel manipulative, imagine respects her agency while gently guiding her thoughts. It engages her curiosity and allows her to explore the idea willingly, creating a sense of collaboration rather than pressure. In essence, imagine is a bridge between the present and possibility, between thought and feeling, between attraction and connection. It is a single word with the power to transform a conversation, making it a powerful tool for men who understand that authentic attraction is as much about what is suggested in the mind as what is expressed in reality. The word because may seem ordinary at first glance, but its psychological impact in human interaction is remarkable, especially in attraction. When a man uses because in conversation, he is not merely explaining himself. He is signaling thoughtfulness, logic, and emotional awareness. Providing a reason behind an action, a suggestion, or a statement creates a sense of transparency, which naturally builds trust. Women, like all humans, are wired to respond positively to explanations. Our brains seek coherence and context. When a man says, I suggested this cafe because it's quiet and relaxing, He is not only giving information, but also demonstrating consideration for her comfort and experience. This small linguistic choice communicates respect, intelligence, and attentiveness, all of which are deeply attractive qualities. Older men often use because instinctively, understanding that attraction is not just about charm or appearance, it is about making the other person feel understood and safe. By giving reasons, they create emotional security, allowing women to feel that their thoughts, feelings, and needs are acknowledged. It also subtly enhances persuasion without coercion. A request or suggestion paired with because is far more likely to be received positively, not because it demands compliance, but because it appeals to rational understanding. Beyond practicality, because also conveys confidence. Men who explain their choices with clarity demonstrate self-assurance and decisiveness. They are showing that their actions are intentional, not random, and that they value meaningful connection rather than shallow interaction. Importantly, this word works on a subconscious level as well. Even a brief reason creates a psychological trigger in the brain that reduces resistance and increases openness. Women feel less defensive, more receptive, and more connected to the person speaking. Over time, this consistent use of thoughtful reasoning fosters respect, admiration, and emotional closeness. In essence, because is a bridge between intention and perception. It turns casual communication into a subtle demonstration of character, intelligence, and empathy. Older men who understand this can naturally attract women without force or pretense, simply by giving context, showing consideration, and creating a space where connection feels safe and meaningful. This demonstrates that real attraction is not built on grand gestures, but on small, deliberate choices that engage both the mind and the heart. Attraction is rarely about flashy words, expensive gestures, or trying too hard to impress. It is subtle, intelligent, and deeply rooted in the psychology of connection. By understanding the power of language, a man can influence perception and create genuine intrigue. The word imagine sparks curiosity and emotion, inviting her to explore possibilities and envision shared experiences, while because builds trust, respect, and emotional safety by providing reasoning and demonstrating thoughtfulness. Together, these two simple words create a balance of emotional engagement and psychological influence, forming a natural, magnetic connection that feels authentic rather than forced. Older men often use these words instinctively because they understand that real attraction is about making a woman feel seen, understood, and inspired, not merely entertained or impressed. Mastering this subtle art transforms everyday conversation into a powerful tool for connection, showing that sometimes the simplest words carry the greatest impact. When you speak with intention, engaging both her mind and heart, you don't just communicate, you create an irresistible presence that leaves a lasting impression.